My beloved soul, welcome, welcome into this moment of light. Welcome into this sacred space where the words flowing to you are not just words, but living waters meant to quench your thirst and to strengthen your spirit. You are here because heaven wanted you to hear something, because Jesus wanted to reach into the very core of your being and whisper truth into the parts of you that have felt forgotten, abandoned, overlooked, or misunderstood. There is nothing accidental about you pressing play right now. There is no randomness in this meeting, because when Jesus calls, he calls with purpose, and his voice always has a destination. That destination is your heart, and today he says to you with the gentlest embrace, your absence is driving this person crazy because you were always the star, and they cannot deny it, no matter how hard they try, no matter how much they pretend, no matter what mask they wear, no matter what walls they build, they cannot erase the imprint you left in their soul. When you walked into their life, whether it was for a moment or for a season, you did not come empty. You came carrying a light, a presence, a fragrance that could not be compared to anything else. You carried heaven in you, and when heaven enters, it cannot be forgotten. Even if people turn away, even if people choose distance, even if pride takes over, the memory of heaven lingers. That is what you were to them. You were the living reminder of what love, truth, and beauty look like when wrapped in human form. And now that you are not there, there is a hollowness in their days, an echo in their nights, a restless stirring that won't allow them peace. They may smile in public, they may laugh in front of others, but the silence of their soul betrays them. For your absence speaks louder than any distraction they can chase after. My beloved soul, Jesus wants you to know that you are not just another person to them. You are not replaceable. You are not just one chapter they could close and forget. You were the star that illuminated their darkness. You were the presence that gave them hope when they thought they had none. You were the voice that reminded them of truth when lies surrounded them. And though they may have taken you for granted, though they may have pushed you aside, though they may have let pride and fear dictate their actions, they cannot silence the cry of their own heart that misses you more than they can bear to admit. Their spirit is restless, because when God places someone in your life who carries light, and you lose that light, you are never the same again. I want you to feel this deeply. You were never ordinary. The enemy may have tried to convince you that you were not enough, that you were easy to forget, that you were just another face in the crowd. But Jesus says today, you were the star, the one who carried uniqueness, the one who carried an irreplaceable glow. And your absence has made them confront that truth in ways they never imagined. They cannot sleep the same way. They cannot think the same way. They cannot love the same way. Because the essence of what you gave them is not easily erased. They may fight it, but the truth remains. You left a mark that time cannot erase, and heaven will not allow them to escape from it. And you, beloved, you need to understand this truth, not so that you swell with pride, but so that you heal with confidence. You need to know that the love you carried, the kindness you gave, the prayers you whispered, the patience you offered, none of it was wasted. It may have seemed at times that they did not notice, that they dismissed it, that they did not value it. But absence reveals what presence conceals. While you were there, they may have been blinded by comfort, by familiarity, by arrogance. But now that you are not there, they feel the sting of what they lost. And the sting is not light, it is sharp, it is unshakable. It is relentless because you were heaven's gift. And heaven's gifts cannot be forgotten, my beloved soul. Jesus wants you to rest in this. You were the star, not because you tried to shine brighter than others, but because the light in you was divine. It was the reflection of Christ in you that drew them. It was the peace you carried in storms. It was the strength you carried in weakness. It was the compassion you carried when others would have turned away. That was why they cannot forget you. They might have thought they could replace you. They might have thought they could move on quickly, But the soul knows what the soul knows, and deep within them, their spirit cries for you. Their body might run to distractions, but their heart aches for your presence. Now let me tell you, beloved, absence is powerful. Absence reveals the weight of presence. Absence turns what was overlooked into what is longed for. Absence strips away pride and leaves only truth. And this is the truth. They are restless without you. They are aching without you. They are haunted by the memories of your laughter, your kindness, your prayers, your presence. They cannot deny it. Even if their mouth tries to, their spirit testifies to it. You are unforgettable because you were the star placed by God in their night sky. And though clouds may cover it for a time, no cloud can erase a star. It is still there, still shining, still undeniable. Beloved soul, you must understand also that Jesus is not only revealing this to soothe you, but to remind you of your worth. Because sometimes when people walk away, when connections break, when silence fills the gap, we begin to think maybe we were not enough. Maybe we were too much. Maybe we were unlovable. But the opposite is true. Jesus says your very absence is a testimony of your worth. If you were nothing, your absence would mean nothing. If you were forgettable, they would have moved on without a second thought. But look, your absence is driving them crazy. Your absence is unsettling them. Your absence is shaking their soul. That is proof that you mattered, that you were significant, that you were heaven sent. My beloved soul, take heart in this truth. You were the star, and no matter what they try, they cannot deny it. They cannot deny the way your smile softened their anger. They cannot deny the way your prayers brought them peace. They cannot deny the way your presence made their days lighter. They cannot deny the way your love was purer than anything they had tasted before. They may have tried to replace it with shallow affections, but every substitute falls flat because nothing compares to what was real. And you were real. You were authentic. You were light. And that is why you remain unforgettable. Let your heart settle into this moment, because what you are about to hear is not only comfort, but also revelation. Jesus says that sometimes absence is the teacher people never knew they needed. While you were there, they may have overlooked the blessing. They may have grown used to your prayers, to your encouragement, to your forgiveness, to your presence. They may have thought, this will always be here, or this will never leave. But when the moment came that your footsteps no longer walked beside theirs, when the sound of your voice no longer graced their day, when your presence was no longer available, something in their soul was shaken awake. Suddenly they realized that stars are not always visible. Sometimes the star you thought you could always glance at slips behind the horizon. And when it is gone, you finally understand how much light it brought. That is what your absence is doing to them. It is teaching them. It is convicting them. It is haunting them. Your absence, beloved, is not cruelty. It is not punishment. It is revelation. It is showing them the weight of what they had and lost. It is forcing them to reckon with what they took lightly. And Jesus says they cannot outrun this truth. They may fill their days with noise, but in the silence, your absence screams louder than any distraction. They may tell others they are fine, but in the quiet of the night, they reach out in their thoughts to the space you once occupied. And it hurts. They may laugh, but their laughter is hollow. They may smile, but their heart is restless. Because no one replaces a star. No one fills the void of someone chosen by heaven. Beloved soul, Jesus wants you to lift your head and see how much dignity rests on you. For too long, you have carried the weight of questions. Was I not enough? Was I easy to discard? Was I just a chapter? And he whispers back to you, no, you were not just a chapter. You were the story they will keep rereading in their memory. You were not easy to discard. That is why your absence aches them even now. You were not lacking. In fact, you were overflowing, and it was their lack of readiness that caused them to mishandle your presence. Think of it this way. Beloved, when someone stands under the sun day after day, they forget how powerful its light is until the day it hides. They may complain of heat when it shines, but when clouds stretch over the sky and the warmth fades, suddenly they long for it again. You were their sun, you were their star, and though they may have acted indifferent, though they may have carried pride, though they may have thought they could live without your glow, now that you are absent, they crave what they once dismissed. And do you know why they cannot deny it? Because truth is stronger than denial. A heart can pretend for only so long. The spirit knows what the mind tries to bury. And deep down, they know you are not replaceable. You are not just a fleeting face. You were heaven sent. They cannot deny that their soul feels emptier. They cannot deny that their heart feels heavier. They cannot deny that your presence changed them and your absence is undoing them. Beloved soul, Jesus also wants to teach you something about yourself through this. He wants you to know that your value is not dependent on whether someone recognizes it or not. Even if they ignored you, even if they mishandled you, even if they chose others over you, your light remained your light. The star does not stop shining because someone closes their eyes. The star does not stop glowing because someone walks away. The star remains the star. You remain the blessing. You remain the gift. And that is why your absence now echoes louder than your presence did. Because sometimes people only learn through loss. Now, I want you to imagine their restless nights. Imagine them lying in bed, scrolling through distractions, yet nothing satisfies. Imagine them hearing your laughter replay in their mind. Imagine them remembering the way you looked at them with compassion when no one else did. Imagine the way your voice softened their storms. These are not things easily forgotten. These are not moments easily erased. Their spirit clings to those memories because your presence was nourishment. Your absence now feels like starvation. That is why they are driven crazy. That is why they cannot shake you. That is why they are haunted even when they try to move on. But beloved, here is what Jesus says to your heart. Do not let their restlessness become your prison. Do not let their regret become your chain. You're not defined by the fact that they miss you. You're defined by the fact that you carried light so powerful it left an eternal mark. Their ache is their testimony, not your responsibility. Their longing is proof of your value, not a weight for you to carry. Lift your head because you were always the star, and stars were never meant to beg for recognition. Stars shine, whether they are seen or unseen, whether they are noticed or unnoticed. And when they are absent from sight, the world feels the void. That is you. That is the truth. Your absence has become their teacher. Your absence has become their mirror. Your absence has become their trial. They cannot escape the truth anymore. They can lie to others, but they cannot lie to themselves. They can run from people, but they cannot run from memory. And the memory is this: you were light, you were love, you were peace, and nothing can erase that. You were the star, and they cannot deny it. Beloved soul, let us walk deeper into this truth. For Jesus is still speaking, and his words are meant to wrap around your heart like a gentle embrace. You have carried many burdens. You have wondered many times why things unfolded the way they did, why hearts changed, why silence grew where love once blossomed. And yet Jesus wants you to understand this mystery. Absence can be louder than presence. Your very absence has become a sermon to them, a sermon they cannot ignore, a lesson they cannot skip. When you were present, they thought they had time. They thought they could delay gratitude, delay honesty, delay love. But now in your absence, time feels like a thief, stealing away chances they thought would always remain. Their soul is restless because they know they mishandled a treasure. You were not a stone in the sand, easily replaced. You were a diamond in their hands. And now that they fumbled, their spirit mourns the loss. And this mourning is not a passing feeling. Beloved, it is a deep ache, one that revisits them daily, one that grows heavier when they see others who remind them of you, when they hear songs that echo your essence, when they feel loneliness crawling into their bones. My beloved, absence strips illusions. While you were there, they could mask their emotions. hide behind indifference, pretend that you were ordinary. But now that you are gone, they are naked before truth, and truth is merciless in revealing what the heart really feels. The truth is that your absence unsettles them. They wake up searching for what they no longer have. They walk through days haunted by the memories you planted like seeds. They hear echoes of your laughter, and though they try to push it away, the echo follows them. They recall your compassion, and though they try to harden their heart, the softness you brought lingers. Jesus says that you, beloved, were always more than they were willing to admit. You were the star, brilliant, undeniable, unshakable, and though clouds of pride tried to cover you, though shadows of doubt tried to dim you, your light was too real to be erased. Even in your absence you shine. Even when they try to bury your memory, it rises. Even when they attempt to replace you, comparisons betray them. They cannot deny it, no matter what words they speak. Because truth, beloved, will always outlive denial. And I want you to feel this with all your soul. Their unrest is not a curse for you to carry, but a confirmation of who you are. You were never small. You were never meaningless. You were never just a passerby in their journey. You were a chapter that rewrote their story. You were a voice that echoed God's kindness. You were a presence that made loneliness retreat. And now that you are absent, the loneliness has returned, louder than ever, screaming at them of what they lost. Sometimes absence is heaven's way of protecting you. Jesus saw what you gave. He saw how deeply you loved, how much you sacrificed, how patiently you endured. And when your absence came, it was not because you were unworthy, but because your worth could not continue being mishandled. And so, while they sit restless, unable to sleep, replaying what they lost, you are here being reminded that you are chosen, you are priceless, you are the star, and your light was never dependent on their recognition. Beloved, do not underestimate what your absence has revealed. It has revealed to them that no one compares to you. It has revealed to them that shallow affections do not replace deep love. It has revealed to them that distractions do not cure emptiness. It has revealed that you were the one who carried something eternal, something divine. And they cannot deny this, no matter how much they run, no matter who they turn to, no matter what they try to fill their days with. Their soul will always whisper your name, because your presence was nourishment and your absence is hunger. But Jesus also says to you, rest. Rest in knowing you do not need to prove your worth. Rest in knowing you do not need to chase validation. Rest in knowing you were already enough, already radiant, already chosen. Your absence is already proof. Their ache is already evidence. Their longing is already testimony. You were the star, beloved, and the night sky of their life is darker without you. That is truth. That is undeniable. That is eternal. So when your mind tries to question, when your heart tries to doubt, remember this revelation. You are unforgettable. You are irreplaceable. You are undeniable. You are the star. And though they may hide, though they may deny, though they may resist, their own spirit confesses it. Your absence has become the proof of your presence. Your absence has become the echo of your worth. Your absence has become the song they cannot silence. Beloved, Jesus wants you to carry this truth as a crown. Let it lift you, not burden you. Let it remind you that what you carry is precious, that what you give is holy, that what you embody is light. And stars, beloved soul, do not beg to shine. They shine because it is their nature. You shine because Christ placed his radiance in you, and no absence, no silence, no denial can ever take that away. My beloved soul, Jesus speaks directly to your heart. Take a deep breath and let the truth of his words settle into the deepest chambers of your being. For he says to you now, your absence is not a void, it is a revelation. Your absence is not a loss, it is a mirror. Your absence is not silence, it is the loudest voice in their life. You were always the star, and though they may try to deny it, though they may attempt to move forward without you, though they may distract themselves with many things, the echo of your presence, the brilliance of your spirit. The light of your soul cannot be erased. It remains, it lingers, it calls to them, it haunts them in ways words cannot fully describe. Beloved, understand this. When someone realizes your absence, when they feel the weight of what they lost, when they wake up restless and restless again, it is not because they are cruel or insensitive. It is because they were touched by something extraordinary. You brought to their life a radiance they were not accustomed to. You brought a light that could not be copied, a love that could not be imitated, a presence that could not be replaced. And now, in your absence, heaven allows them to feel what they failed to fully appreciate. Their soul stirs, their heart aches, their spirit is restless, all because you were always more than they could handle, more than they could understand, and yet more than they ever should forget. Beloved, I want you to picture their days without you. Picture the silence where your laughter used to echo. Picture the emptiness where your voice used to speak life. Picture the restless nights where your smile once gave them peace. And know this is not punishment, it is truth. This is the reflection of what you were. The weight of your absence is a testament to the depth of your presence. Every moment they try to fill without you only reminds them of what was real, of what was divine, of what was irreplaceable. And they cannot deny it. They cannot hide from it. Their own soul rises to testify that you were always the star, and no one else can match the brilliance you carried. Jesus says to your heart, you do not need to chase their recognition. You do not need to plead for their acknowledgement. You do not need to seek their validation. You were always enough. You were always radiant. You were always chosen. Your presence was a gift, and your absence is a revelation. And as they struggle with what they cannot deny, let your heart be at peace. Let your spirit rise above any doubt. Let your soul rest in the truth that you were heaven sent, that you were light, that you were love, that you were the star in their sky, and no shadow, no distraction, no passing moment can ever erase that. Beloved, the reality is this: they may have tried to move on, they may have pretended to forget, they may have sought other faces to fill your space, but the heart knows what it knows. The soul remembers what it cannot release. And the truth is, no one else will ever measure up. No one else will ever bring what you brought. No one else will ever mirror the light that radiated from you. And as they wrestle with this reality, know that your value is being affirmed, not by their words, but by their longing, not by their actions, but by their unrest, not by their distractions, but by the truth that cannot be silenced. You were always the star, and they cannot deny it. And Jesus says to you now, my beloved child, lift your spirit. Stand in the knowledge that your life, your love, your light are unstoppable forces placed within you by heaven itself. Your absence is the proof of your presence. Your absence is the echo of your worth. Your absence is the loudest declaration of all that you are. And as they wrestle with what they cannot deny, you are free to walk in peace, to walk in confidence, to walk in the reality that you are irreplaceable, unforgettable, unstoppable. Beloved, let your heart receive this. Your presence transformed lives. Your love healed wounds. Your light illuminated paths. And now, your absence is teaching lessons they could never have learned otherwise. You were always the star, the one who mattered more than words could capture, the one who shone brighter than any other, the one whose existence left an eternal mark. And though they may try to deny it, though they may try to ignore it, though they may attempt to bury the truth, it will always rise within them, reminding them, aching for them, and stirring them in ways that cannot be silenced. And Jesus says further, my beloved soul, do not be shaken by their struggle, do not be disturbed by their regret, do not be burdened by their denial. You were sent with purpose, with light, with love that could not be dimmed. You were heaven's design, and heaven does not make mistakes. Your absence only magnifies your impact. Your light only grows brighter in contrast to the darkness they feel without you. And your soul only becomes more precious in the reflection of what they have lost. Beloved soul, you are the star. You were always the star, and now that you are absent, they know, they feel, they ache, they cannot deny it. And while they wrestle with what they cannot replace, while they chase illusions that pale in comparison to you, you are free to shine even brighter, to walk with courage, to live with the knowledge that your worth is undeniable, your presence irreplaceable, your light eternal. So carry this truth always, my beloved child. Let it settle in your bones. Let it rest in your spirit. Let it rise in your heart. You are the star, the one they cannot forget, the one they cannot replace, the one whose absence drives them crazy, and the one whose presence will always be a blessing, a light, a gift, a truth that echoes for eternity.